Welcome back to Alpha Clyde, the Wolf Therian. Happy to see you guys again. I am Alpha Clyde. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Therianism is a spiritual belief that one's soul is not a human soul, it's an animal. It goes back to the ancient Native American belief that everyone in a tribe has a spirit animal. There's the scouts, the warriors, the chief. It's well documented. There's even cases of recorded Therianism in places like Africa. Therians don't just connect with animals. They are those animals. And sometimes, at first, the connection can be very, very strong, or it takes time to develop. Therians can feel an extended connection with nature. It all depends on who themselves they are. Sometimes, if you get really, really stressed out, you will mental shift, which means that the animal completely takes over the mind and that you behave like that animal. Expressing your Therian identity makes you look weird sometimes, and it makes you look like a crazy person. So sometimes you experience bullying or being an outcast because of it. Therianism in itself can actually conflict with some religious beliefs because Catholics, they don't believe in reincarnation, and Therianism is all about reincarnation and being in different forms. I would definitely consider Therianism both a psychological and spiritual connection. It's spiritual and it's psychological because you're mental shifting into that animal. So you have a second part of the brain that is that animal. And then spiritually, you have the spiritual connection to nature, to animals. Being a Therian can actually affect your personal growth because you don't just grow as a human, you grow as an animal species. But at the same time, it can sometimes affect the way you live your life, because if you have very high anxiety, then that could trigger shifts like phantom shifts. It could trigger mental shifts, and you don't really want to have a mental shift in public. Therians can experience dreams of some kinds. It just depends on them and how strong the connection is at first. For a Therian with mental issues, most Therians in themselves do have some kind of minor mental issues because of the spiritual connection. It can cause some kind of disruptions in the brain chemical-wise. Sometimes those things are very minor, but other times they're very major. But it's not always that case. Like, some Therians have no mental issues whatsoever. It's okay to go see a shrink or a psych when you feel like you're having psychological issues, but at the same time, you need to open yourself to what is out there, and you need to open yourself to the connection that you may have with nature or with the spiritual realm, because then you can really get to know yourself and your true self. It requires an awakening, which is the process of this animal spirit waking up and taking over it sometimes. That's why you experience shifts, because it's the animal taking over. When one awakens, you know, because you can feel it inside yourself. It's like waking up from a dream state. You can feel it. You can feel the phantom limbs, you can feel the tail, the wings, whatever your stereotype may be, you can feel body parts of it. It all comes from the inner self, and sometimes the inner self can be very, very loud and very, very noticeable, which is where the connection to the individual animal comes from. It has to develop and strengthen. Some advice that I would give to somebody who thinks that they're Therian would probably be to think about it, really focus on it during meditation, and try to find out what that animal is. There is a large online presence for Therianism, like the Therian aminos. There's like 80 of them. There are some Therian Facebook pages, but they don't have a lot of members. Like, the biggest one that I've seen has 2.2k members, and that's not a lot. So, it's a very rare thing for Therians to be on Facebook. I will add some links to some groups that I recommend in the description below. There is no books out there, as far as I know, about Therianthropy and Therianism, but I myself am writing a book about it and about my experiences and some other animalistic experiences that others have. As far as I know, there is no Therian books out there. I haven't seen any, but if you know of any, then please put them in the comments below. If you have any kind of comments, questions, anything to add, put it in the comments below and I will respond as soon as I can.